Getting up. Hopefully all these lights will wake me the fuck up. I got paper to write. I'm about halfway done. Somewhere, some amount done. Fuck, man. It's just like a last day of class. Like this lady that was my partner, she had the audacity to say, "Well, you don't like people." Then I was like, "Lady, my power comes from people. My energy comes from people. My heart and soul literally is from my interaction with people." You know what I'm saying? I literally told like the FBI and everything, if you take that away from me, that's like my energy. You know what I'm talking about? It's like that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? That's what gives me my strength. Is constantly touching base, adjusting, having my ear to the grindstone, knowing what's going on, everything. Just be one, be part of it. It's just like I am. You look at me and you see a criminal. You see someone part of like, you know what I'm saying, that's trying to disrupt and destroy society because, you know, I do illegal things, you know what I'm saying, growing up. But that's not the case, you know what I'm talking about? I, People don't protect us, they're not there, you know what I'm saying? So we fill in the role for ourselves. I'm just an extension of that, and I'm just the best at it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So you can't blame society on me, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm the culmination consensus of what the Puerto Rican community is at that time, you can't take your hate on me and be like, oh, this, it's one single individual. You know what I'm talking about? If people don't give us opportunities, and if we united are able to survive higher standard of living, that's what we're gonna do. As simple as that. And that's where my power came from. That's what my ego came from. That's why I did not need to do drugs or drink or whatever, because every person that came up to me that gave me respect was like a little shot of adrenaline. Every time someone come to me and said Supreme, that was like probably the equivalent of like maybe snorting cocaine, and you know what I'm saying, that little shot of like endorphins going through your body, and you know what I'm talking about? That's what got me high. People got me high, you know what I'm saying? That's what it was. And then on the last day to hear that, I'm like, it was offensive. It was dehumanizing. And then people was like, well, now people can't perpetrate like, I don't know what that means. My education is obviously, you know what I'm saying, at the graduate level. I'm not saying whatever, I'm above anybody, but people can't state that the words are incomprehensible to myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? So now they're falling back on, well, it's delusional or whatever, psychotic, whatever. No, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? If you state that, it basically says that I can't understand the world around me. You know what I'm talking about? Of course I love people. Of course I do. That's where my energy comes from. It's been since I was a teenager and I stated it. You know what I'm talking about? So, no, I love people. And that's very highly disrespectful, and I was irate. But I held it in. I was be cool. And when I'm in a situation like that, I try to make people laugh because I know that blunts it. A lot of that, you know, that perception. And I just want to say one last thing. Yes, both of my marriages, the woman asked me that, but that's how Latino cultures are. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's different from white cultures, you know, and Asian cultures, you know. And we live in open relationships sometimes, you know, I'm talking about if we're not married, you know what I'm saying? That's why the kids that I have remarried, and I talked to them and we were cool about it on some level, if not, you know, straight out open about it, you know what I'm talking about? So it's just like, that's how it is. We're not like you where we need to have one person or whatever. We don't have those attachments to women that are so like, it's just not, it's there if you get married and, you know what I'm saying, and you live with person and all that other stuff. Don't get me wrong, you know what I'm talking about? But for the most part, it's not like white society. Not that there's anything wrong with it or Asian society, but I understand the dynamics here because you need to be in a relationship because the prices are so expensive out here. It's to the relationships being with one person to a higher level. I get that, but it's not me. You know what I'm talking about? Those are not, I don't have those attachments. And it's really kind of bizarre that you put those perceptions on someone else. I'm not from here, you know what I'm talking about? So you can't give that to me. And I found that highly disrespectful to be like, oh, well, someone asked you to marry. Of course. Of course, don't do that. Of course, someone asked me to marry. Of course, and it happened multiple times, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, it's like I'm living in a twilight zone sometimes out here. And I was just, but I got through my final. I did what I did, and the subtle little things she did and said under her breath, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It affected me. I'm not gonna lie, whatever. But I did it. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate her. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad that I was able to do something. You know, something I could, get a good grade. And go on to the next step at that very level. And I would probably talk more deeply if I get my head more wrapped around acting, but I'm just trying to wake myself up and get my paper done, and I'll get this win in. But I just want to get that off my chest. Kind of frustrating. That someone would say that. Oh, I don't like people. Oh, someone asked you to marry him. Oh, yeah, someone asked. Yeah, both my wives asked me to marry them, and I remember the spot. You know what I'm saying? I remember multiple spots where it shocks you every time, how serious the conversation goes. So yeah, it's funny. Like you start making them laugh too. That's the funny part. It's like, yeah, makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm here in my boxers. I'm hoping these lights wake me up. It's just like I have my meds kick in. All the stuff I take for everything. Uh, oh yeah, and my therapist is saying like I have attention deficit disorder. That's it. Fucking come at me like that, like please, people. Get a game win, get some of that stuff flowing through my body. Oh, all right. Let's see if this works. I always love being a cleric. It sort of makes sense. It's a woman. They heal people. Because it like splits the difference of being a knight. I don't know. It's just weird. I guess because of my dad being descended from Knights Templars, that side of the family always like without knowing it, just like, well, I wouldn't say they didn't know it, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Experience tranquility. It's
Score 0-2. Switching sides. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
We're going up. You see a big crowd behind you, and then all shit hits the fan. You look behind the crowd's so small. Ah. And you'd be like, these motherfuckers ain't gonna do shit. If something's gonna happen, it's already gonna happen. It's so frustrating.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
When Diva get back your neck.
Surrender to my will.
A little bit bad luck when I jumped up the first time. Didn't know that soldier was behind me.
It's
This junk. I gotta do it quick.
Cease your resistance.
I've got you in my sights.
60 seconds remaining.
Giving you a little extra.
Gale the Mahal.
Excuse me. That wasn't the plan.
30 seconds remaining.
Surrender to my will. Mess this up. Take some armor. I've got you covered. Maybe
It's
you should just
time.
stay out of my way. That should be better. Giving you a little extra.
Commence attack on objective B.
Good as new. Fixing you up. Feeling better? I'll take care of you.
This will heal you.
Help me. Group up with me. Group up. Got it. I will shield you. Join with me. Group up. Let me patch that up.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Giving you a little extra.
Oh, junk.
No.
You seem in need of aid.
Help me. Mess this up.
Surrender to my will. Defense mode activated.
Come back to me.
Gale the Mahal.
Nerf this. Get behind me. Activating self-destruct sequence. Meta activated. Jag fixar dig.
60 seconds.
Back to the drawing board. Game on. Call it the creep. Tracer here. Giving you a little extra.
30 seconds remaining.
My shield's up. Keep the pressure on. You can't let us now. Armoring you up. Enemy spotted.
Cease your resistance.
This will restore you.
What 10 seconds? Surrender to my will.
That wasn't the plan.
Alright, try again.
Now entering King's Row. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
I will prove myself. I could have used a little more time to get ready.
Encore. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds. A perfect 10.
Encore. Again.
Giving you a little extra. My shield's up.
Thanks.
Yes, you need it.
Let me patch that up. Got it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Who doesn't have the armor? There we go.
Call it
Yeah.
quick.
Defend objective A. Enemy visually confirmed.
Stirs for his dead.
Please move behind the barrier.
Shield's holding.
Just in case.
I told you to stop resisting.
Everyone, heal up.
Giving you a little extra.
This will be your shield.
Take some armor. Armoring you up. Turning defense into offense.
Damn it.
Giving you a little extra.
There is no way to hide.
I'll take care. All patched up.
Need some healing.
Feel better soon. That should be better.
Tactical visor activated.
I recommend so guts on me.
Target-rich environment.
Take some armor. Come on, everyone.
Tracer.
Ya fixaré.
Healing.
I gave it to you.
Taking heavy fire. Armoring you
Team
up.
up for special attack.
Pass into the iris.
Taking my medicine. Time. Rolling to. Oh, my barrier can't take much more.
No one can hide from my sight.
What did you expect?
Come on, give some my armor. Oh, that's it. Alright.
Strong ward. You'll get with me.
Is everybody up? Everybody's up.
Objective lost.
What are you doing?
Giving you a little extra. Shield holding. Armoring you up. You are advised to move behind my back. Call it a day. Take some armor. Taking heavy fire.
Reinhardt. Oh, I want to be Reinhardt. That's right. Check out the new meta for him.
Ash here. Armoring you up.
Oh,
My barrier to
pirate ship.
Let me patch that up.
Shit.
That's how you do it.
We got a Ryan not doing anything. Here we go.
I can do better than that.
Got 2 tanks. Oh, we only got 1 healer and 1 tank.
Take some armor.
Shoot. It's not gonna go well.
I've got you. Shield's taking damage.
Pass into the iris.
Like lightning. That was the plan.
Can't get in front of it. Gotta get in front of it.
I'll take care of you. Enemy spotted.
Well, hopefully we stay at this composition. It's an aggressive composition. It's just not a good defensive composition. I gotta look at it positively. Watch us go all tanks and shit now.
I will be your shield.
Instead of goats, I'll call it gate. Go all tanks. Get. Go get. Go get. Instead of go all tanks and support. Gets. Gots.
Take some armor. Giving you a little extra. Armoring you up. Shield's holding. Get in there. Feeling better? You might want to keep your distance. I've got you. Ich bin da.
I am here. Good.
My barrier can't take much more. Take some armor. Giving you a little extra. Dein Schutzengel ist da. Step off.
Come on, get out of the choke.
I will shield you. Estoy al frente. I'll take care of you. continues. Get in there.
Enemy sighted.
Armoring you up. Keep it coming. Take some armor.
Into the iris.
Here you're fitting.
Team up for special attack.
Armoring you up. Helden sterben nicht. Enemy seen. You might want to keep your distance. Got enough. Gotcha. Feeling better? Hold it to creep.
The enemy is here.
Recording performance for
Ready
future
for
analysis.
my servants never die.
I am moving with the payload.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Rally to me!
Enemy reviving.
This is not the end. Taking heavy fire. Giving you a little extra. Hurry up! The payload's under my protection.
Round 2. Complete. Score 3-3.
Not a total loss.
Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
I will prove myself.
I grow tired.
What do we got?
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
I'll take care. Group up with me.
Dr. Fresh. Come on.
I could use some healing. Come over here.
Who's going to go and attack?
4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
Hold it to creep.
The battle commences. The enemy approaches.
60 seconds remaining.
Shield holding. Feeling better? I'm taking damage. Here you're fitting. Patching you up. Now we're in business.
30 seconds remaining.
Thanks, Angela. Everyone, I got you covered. Let me patch that up.
I have spotted the
10 seconds remaining.
My servants never die.
Огонь по готовности!
Helden sterben nicht.
Team up for special attack.
Back to live back. Du mår bättre snart. Patching you up.
Round
your shield. Take some armor.
Attackers incoming within 30 seconds. Please move behind the barrier. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Why is it so?
Giving you a little
I'm gonna break through that.
You are amazed to me. Armoring you up. Shield holding. Cover me. Take some armor.
Get behind the barrier.
Let me patch that out. Turning defense into offense. I'm under attack. Let me quick. Giving you a little extra.
Behind you.
Much better.
Defeat.
Third time's a charm.
Welcome to Jakarta. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
I'll be on past 3 o'clock. That's when my papers due is at 3. It's the hard cutoff right there. Tomorrow I'll finish up my last paper. Then I have a 30-minute presentation sometime this semester. About maintaining historical districts during the Kingdom era. And
Take some armor.
I'll get my historical preservation graduate certificate. Make some inquiries about getting my other graduate certificate and maybe doing my capstone project at the same time, or at least having that build on my capstone project. Oh yeah, definitely build on it. I don't see the point of doing separate research from scratch.
Okay, here we go.
Probably need to deal with the Hawaiian department. Have them look over my paper, take some crap to see how fucked up it is, and then just incorporate it.
Ready for more. Armoring you up.
It's hard to deal with other like native people sometimes, and so even if it's good, it's just like, all right, I get it.
Giving you a little extra.
Just give me the information, none of that other shit. I really don't want to have like. It's just like Navajo and Hopi don't get along. That's kind of rivalries you get.
Heavy fire. Let's get you back in the fight. Fixing you up.
I guess, you know.
Shield's taking damage.
If anybody's seen like that new Australian show with the New Zealand Maori, Samoan type of thing, that kind of it's so kind of annoying. I feel.
For your safety, please move behind.
Enemy turret down.
Moving the payload. better. Your spot has arrived.
Enemy turret down.
I'll take care of them. Patching you up. Taking heavy fire. Two more vectors now. Shield holding. Look from me.
Okay, cool.
Armoring you up. Roll it to me. Take some armor.
Good, good, good. Nice.
Payload arrived. Giving you a little extra.
And it has arrived.
Only place for Omni. Junkertown is on the scrap heap. Consider yourself warned.
Feeling better?
Around the corner.
Help me!
Vamos, coração!
Take some armor!
Team up for special attack.
Intense forma. Så gott som nu.
Enemies found.
Oh,
Get in there, Bob! Giving you a little extra. Payload's moving out. Keep it covered. I'll take care of you. Taking my medicine. Shield holding. I've got you. Get behind me. You have to watch out for the 1%. Take some armor.
Огонь по готовности.
Much better. Roll it to me!
Enemy spotted.
My ultimate is ready.
Patching you up.
We must get the payload moving again.
That should be better. Giving you a little. Shield's taking damage. Feeling better.
Enemies found. Preparing to begin.
I'll lead the way. Take some armor.
Vamos, coração. Gale the Mahol.
Armoring you up. Step off. Pull it quick.
Moving behind my barrel.
Watch your back.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Feel better soon. Take some armor. That's how you do it. Bet you didn't
got a little lucky there.
pull it quick.
Team up for special attack.
Så gott som ni. I'm being attacked. Good as new.
For your safety, please move behind the barrier.
I'm under fire. Armoring you up. Giving you a little extra.
Barrier activated. Heroes never die.
Enemy seen. Follow the creep. I'm here. Deja vu.
Meteor strike!
We still need you.
Vamos escurecer!
This might need a few adjustments. Good as new. Follow the creep.
10 seconds remaining.
I could use some assistance. Get behind me.
Yell, Domahol.
Very opening.
Score 2-0. Switching sides. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
I will prove myself. Take some armor.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
How in the world does this place even work? Look over here!
Please move behind the barrier.
Hey!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Shield's taking damage. Good as new.
Turn on that!
Feel better soon. I told you. You stop resisting. Get them off me. Thanks, Angela. Let's try that again.
Enemy contact. Landing. I'm
Do my best
overloaded!
this not.
Turret's being
Jag fixar dig. I got you. All patched up. My barrier can't take much more. Get in there.
Maximum power! I am ready.
Back to the drawing board.
My ultimate is ready!
Let's get you back in the fight. Get them off me. Take some armor.
Heroes never die. For a price.
I foresee great things for you.
Some guts on me.
Setting out the welcome mat! Dropping. Let off some steam!
Supercharger is ready to get involved.
Do something.
Watch your six. All safe.
Feel better.
Gale, Domahol.
Barrier's about to start.
is ready. Supercharger is ready to be deployed.
Jag fixar dig.
Fire at will.
Tactical visor activated.
Team up for special attack.
Bättre så. Got you, Peter. Giving you a little extra.
For your safety, please be behind the barrel.
Let's try that again. I'm taking damage.
Denied.
Here you go. This is not the end of the world. Armoring you up.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
I'm overloaded.
My will made a wheel.
This is not the end.
Take some armor. Bättre så. Help me. I will.
Using the blue.
Perfect. Not to mention some bumps and bruises.
Do something.
Call it a quick. I'll lead the way. This will be armoring you up. Rally to me! Take some armor.
Aerial denied. Powering shield.
You might want to keep your distance. Shield's taking damage.
Kill the Mahal.
My barrier can't take much more. Inte en stråma. I've got you covered. Do something. This might need a few adjustments. Patching you up. I'm under attack.
Payload is approaching its destination.
Heroes never die. To me! Shield's holding.
Everyone heal
Call
up.
it the creep.
Clear impact.
Here's some assistance. Don't waste my time. Giving you a little extra.
4 times a charm. Okay, then I gotta watch something. Win or lose, actually. It's funny. Like, I don't want to act a little bit more aggressive, but since people want to escape responsibility for things and don't acknowledge like their antagonistic behavior, so I guess like technically I'm supposed to like be more antagonistic back, because that's how it operates to deter like this racist, biased, attitude towards myself. So I guess technically I'll do that, but I don't like doing it. So I'll just do a half measure, just a little bit, just so I know that they're being racist, so they know I know they're being racist, and isn't gonna move away from triggering people. It's just I got too much shit, and I have to stay well below that line of policy, and someone could be like, "I got you." He said something at least bit threatening or whatever, because saying something in my past shouldn't be threatening, but people glass over because they don't. I don't think they believe it honestly, and they think like that's like a future behavior that I will do, and that's kind of frustrating. I can assure you, people have jumped over the counter on my behalf.
I will prove myself. I can't wait to get into the fight. Armoring you up. Call it the queen.
It's just that, unfortunately, we hear a lot of passive aggressive, so they think like, you know what it is? I think they do intimidate a lot of white people, and so you think like when you meet a minority, like the same thing happens. It's like no, you don't show up and subtly do something, and I'm gonna behave a certain way. I'm gonna call you out on it every time. That's how real people interact. You got to do it every fucking time. You don't get to like not do anything and then claim respect.
All patched up.
The funny thing is, it's like Japanese act like they're the ones doing it when it's really Polynesians, and they don't even like Polynesians on this island. Only when it's convenient for them, such as that behavior. We intimidate tourists, but it's not you; it's Polynesians.
Call it the queen.
Of course, it's not every strata of the society level, but you can't take something of another culture, say we all get along, but then push them down economically.
You might not keep your distance.
I'm gonna call you on it, Like, well, that's not the case. I'm 106th of Polynesian. Okay. Well, in reality, we call that not being Polynesian.
Take some armor.
No offense. I mean, that's like me saying I'm German. I'm not. Do I have German ancestry? Yeah. But I'm not German. I'm Navajo, Hopi, Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't. If I'm not like half, I can't claim it,
Bring the Tibetans to my
If I
will.
have to argue it, it's not.
Roll it to me.
I shouldn't really go around saying I'm an expert
Take some armor.
or an authority on it. 100 years ago, in a boat, I know everything about this culture. I would never say that about Navajo, Hopi, Puerto Rico. Hell, even like, I guess Italian's a little different. It's not like a minority, you know. I made the proud. The where we at? Oh, hold it down. Hold it down. Good, that's fine.
Tactical visor activated.
Mecha activated. This might need a few
You
adjustments.
got it. Direct route. Yeah, I got you. Hey, what's he doing, Anyo? I just always thought that was funny when I got here. It's just like, it's like when you have a Latino that's like light skinned. Oh, I'm gonna be in the white community. Oh, I'm gonna be in the Latino community. Oh, well, what's convenient for me? And you see that here, and the thing is like, it's kind of the arrogancy of being over here. Like they don't see that you could recognize that readily, and be like, oh, you know, because in actuality they'll be like, well, mainland people are arrogant, you know, white people are arrogant, but when you get over here, people are so naive they don't realize how arrogant they are over here. Like you can't discern simple things like that, and it's just infuriating. And you just sort of move on. You don't like call out everybody. It's like I just don't want to deal with you. I need to deal with someone that could not only make it here but also in the mainland. And having those little, I don't know, quirks of personality, I just don't want to deal with.
Back to the drawing board. Let me patch that up. Ya fixaré. Take some armor. Taking heavy fire.
Trash also, and she's a toxic person. Oh, you just knocked her off the edge.
Might check.
Really nothing.
Oh, drunk got hit me.
Hey, might check, might check.
I can't hit them because of the shield. Oh, Widowmaker's losing and Widowmaker fight with the high ground and the easy hits. Oh, you got him. Nice. Okay, that's I lost all my gold medals. Oh, Arisa's so low. Yep, Arisa's down. Ah, bashing on me. I'm so low.
All patched up.
Bastion is just sitting up there and I didn't see him.
Fixaré.
Okay.
I know, drunk got it. There's that boy.
That should be better.
Oh, Roadhog coming down this side.
Armoring you up.
Ashman's really.
Oh, drunk rat. Oh, headshot Roadhog.
I got you.
I got immediately killed, and I could have ulted him if I would have seen him, but I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna come straight out and ult them if they're still in the behind the shield right there. I'm just gonna go and wreck them. One, just stay there. No, they're not still there. Oh, Widowmaker just stopped me. Great.
Fire in the hole!
Okay.
Back to the drawing board. Feeling better?
No, Roadhog was so low. Roadhog's down. Hanzo on me, but I was already so low with the Junkrat. Oh, I stepped in the Junkrat's trap and killed me. Seriously, oh no, we like all have our ults. And we just get in. Come on, contest. Okay, I'm just gonna go.
I'll take care of you. Taking my medicine.
I am ready to unleash the dragon.
So good.
Okay, when they come out, if they're behind a shield.
Much better.
Okay, not
Get behind
me.
me.
Let the dragon consume you.
Akta så.
Alright.
You better
Good double kill.
Destroyed.
I just destroyed them.
fixing you up.
Only person I didn't kill was Roadhog because I can't really. Oh, and I just assisted on him.
There we go. And the win. Just to finish it off like that. You know, I guess psychologically. It's good.
Yep, play the game.
無我が敵を食らう There is nowhere to hide.
I would say I'm the best
You're the one who got cool.
Xbox player ever, but people would take that seriously and be like, oh, he's delusional. And that in itself would be a
I got
racist comment.
26 in silver.
But yet, you see the layers of personality starting to creep up over here
I
that
got
you see in
gold hero
Jersey.
damage, 6,500.
Because, you know, then in itself it's like, well, he literally state that, so we could argue that he actually means that. And this is the stuff that is very infuriating.
Oh, man, my
Because you can't
eyes
joke
are
around with people, you can't engage
see.
with your personality to your further extent. And
Oh, gee.
these people. Okay, there we go. And so now here you are, you know, making people laugh or whatever else like this. So you still got to deal with it. Like here you are, legitimately think I'm funny, but you still have that bias towards me, and that's all you're gonna get, you know, because there is nothing more to my personality that's gonna try above and beyond that. You know, that's the effort that I give. And if it takes anything more than that, I'm just gonna move on. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to deal with you. I don't have to deal with you. And it would be nice to say someone has this magical, lovable, magnetic personality that could push through all that bias and negativity and racism, but that's just not reality. That in itself is delusion. I will do certain things to get along with people, but in the end, no matter what I do, you still have that same disposition, same tact, same attitudes for me. I have to move on. You know what I'm talking about? It's just not a good use of my time. And I think that's the very fundamental definition of racism. If no matter what I achieve, how I act, or what I do, you still feel the same way, you made a predetermined decision not to acknowledge anything of who I am as a person. And you might think that you have not given away that you're racist or biased, but that in itself is naivety. And so I have to just say, no. This, you know, I'm not going to deal with it, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. So, and you could, and now I know it's pervasive in every part of the society. If you're outgoing, or if you're just really shy, or whatever. I mean, why am I gonna be around anybody who does not acknowledge or don't get me wrong? I love feedback. I love conservative feedback, but to outright just display that, you know, I mean, I shouldn't have to tell you that I've been married before. I shouldn't have to tell you that I have kids. I shouldn't have to tell you I was in the Marine Corps. I shouldn't have to tell you that I had a degree. I shouldn't tell you that I lift weights, you know what I'm saying? I should not have to tell you any of that. I should base it on me as an individual when I walk in the room is equal to anybody else. And if I don't see that, my mind just shuts off, and I'll make you laugh. I'll throw a little personality out there, but it's basically I'm gonna mirror your same attitude back towards me, even if it's vocalized or not. Especially if it's, if you say shit as I approach and under your breath and all that other shit, It's just, that's who we are as humans. We mirror that subconsciously. I'm just more attentive to it because I guess maybe I'm a little bit more extroverted and I not shy about instantly doing that because in the end, it's more naturalist thing to do is to give what you receive. And yes, I'm talking about I'm just like every other person. So that's the end result. And I guess as you take acting and all these other classes, you're more in touch with who you are and you feel at peace. And so I don't have any qualms or inhibitions to state that. I'm not going to put an act to make you feel better or whatever else like that. I mean, in the end, are you? Are you saying, here is this guy? No, you're doing the exact opposite. I am going to act this way, regardless of what I hear, see, or what happens before me in reality, and what acknowledge a consensus where people say, hey, this guy has achieved something or whatever. So I have not changed. I'm still the same person. It's just that I lifted weights a little bit more heavily, getting more results. I had cosmetic procedures, and now it's hard to deny, my service in the Marine Corps and that I have a degree. And that shows frustration within a community because it's just like, I don't want to acknowledge this person being better than me or has been on the same level as me. So how can I diminish that without hurting my own, self-image? And you see that happen, that interplay, like, how do we do that? You know what I'm saying? And it's anger, it's like I have to get him on something trivial. And it is what it is. I'm not, what I'm saying? Of course, this will only appeal to other Latinos or other, black Latinos and other minorities or other intellectuals, whatever. I get that. I'm not trying to hit every part of the society or intellectual level. But I'm saying it from my perspective. And that's it. And I need to have my perspective shown readily, minute by minute, or otherwise I'll be overwhelmed by other people's agenda and how they view the world. And to not get my input how they view the world is discriminating, is dehumanizing. You need to have my honest opinion directly from me.